serious, what's the creepiest thing you've seen at a sleepover? When I was in 6th grade, a girl had a slumber party for her birthday. There was maybe 5 or 6 of us girls at her house. Their house was kind of run down, and the parents didn't give a rat's ass what we did, and they constantly swore. Just was an interesting environment. She had 2 younger brothers, 3rd grade maybe, who also had some friends who were girls, same age, over for the night. I walked downstairs, and they had one of the boys' penises out, and the girls were playing with it. I was so shocked, because of course I'm only in 6th grade, and haven't been exposed to stuff like this before. I went and told the birthday girl, who just laughed it off. Super weird. Sounds like bad parenting. My friend invited me, and 3 other friends, to spend the night at her house, since her parents were gone. The room we slept in had a bunk bed and a normal bed, since it was supposed to be divided later for her siblings. We also got a mattress for the floor, since there were 4 of us. I'm a light sleeper, and in the middle of the night I'm awakened by this fucking creepy laughing coming from the room. It sounded too fucking real. It wouldn't stop. I get up from the bed and realize that the person laughing is the one sleeping on the mattress. I was so fucking creeped out, and at first I thought she's joking. Then I go to her, start shaking her arm, and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Then she stops and goes back to her peaceful sleeping. I go back to my bed, and after 10 minutes I hear her say, "Friend's name smell makes my veins pop," followed by another creepy laugh. At this point, I fucking had it. I went up to her again, this time fully waking her up, and tell her that she's being really fucking creepy, and that I don't know what's she dreaming about, but it's fucking scary. To this she replies, "I wasn't even sleeping. I couldn't fall asleep because of that loud noise and snoring." Now, I know she's joking, because there was no noise or snoring in the room except for her giggles. So I'm like, okay. I go back to bed hoping she'll stop. Eventually I fell asleep, and the next morning I ask her what the hell was that about. Apparently she has a habit of talking in her sleep. Edit. Definitely did not see the NSFW warning in the thread when I posted this. This is a very SFW story. Sorry to disappoint. A mattress in a closet that smelled like pee. These people were military, tidy as hell, with 6 kids, and this was a whole closet between the kids' rooms. I opened it looking for a blanket that wasn't that rough sandpaper blanket with the satin trim, you all know the one, and there was this single kid's mattress on the floor, smelling like super old musty pee with no sheets or blankets or pillows. I shut the door and said nothing about it. I was 7. That is rather disturbing. One of the kids probably just had a really bad accident, and they might have tried to clean it, but ran out of time before you came over. Mom found the piss closet. My friend said the first and only time he spent the night at a mutual friend's place, after gaming/drinking/etc. a mutual friend's mom came down early in the AMs, didn't turn any lights on, hunched over and stared at his face for a good 30 seconds. Then paced around their living room/kitchen silently and went back upstairs. Sleepwalker. Maybe cause it was the AM she was sleepy ASF, because she woke up and she completely forgot her son's friend was over and she was wondering who TF it was. That would be my guess. I would do the same thing if I found some rando sleeping on my couch. Probably just took a few seconds for her to make out who you were. In 6th grade I camped at my friend's house with him and one other friend. They lived in the country, so they had plenty of acreage, although we were only 200 feet or so from his house. At about 2 AM we heard people shouting, "Go get them." Now, naturally we freaked out and left the tent running. Come to find out their neighbor's house was getting raided for drugs. Like by cops, or did they get licked? Some form of police. I was at a sleepover with around 8 girls my age when I was around 10. At this point it's already morning and only one of us isn't awake yet. She starts sleepwalking, arms out in front of her, slowly ambling around like a stereotypical zombie, calling out the name of the girl who was hosting us, but slowly and slightly slurred. If you've played the RPG Mad Father, imagine the chase scene. That but quieter. Everybody except for me was really freaked out. I was having the time of my life watching. They would try to get away from her, but she would follow us around the room. She would stop following you if you got separated and weren't the specific girl she was calling out for. At one point she went over to the armchair, curled up on it for a while, then got back up, took one of the pillows on it, and sleepwalked over to the couch where we were huddling up. Everybody scatters. She sits down for a bit, gets back up, grabs the wrong pillow, and goes back over to the armchair, puts the pillow down, then suddenly stops, picks the pillow back up, goes and exchanges it with the correct pillow, and brings it back to the armchair. Absolutely fascinating. Went on for like 2 hours. When she eventually woke up we asked what the fuck she had dreamt. Turns out she dreamt the girl was kidnapped and she was trying to save her this entire time. That's why she kept calling out for her and following people around. It was so cool. Edit. I realize this is a serious thread and it was serious for the others. They were legit so scared and jumpy for the rest of the morning. I see, objectively, how it was scary, but I at that point was already acquainted with other sleepwalkers, and also it was so interesting to see not only how she could arrange the pillows correctly in her sleep, and also how her dream explained her actions while she was sleepwalking. One of the other party goers took out his massive dick and started slapping the couch with it. I, a 12-year-old at the time, had never seen anything like it before or since. I can still hear the sound to this day. WTF, would you say it was like a 12 ounces cut of pork tenderloin? Or maybe like a 4-pack tube of tennis balls? Also, does he currently do meth in his mom's basement and rave out in parking lots with his buds? Yeah, letterkenny. I'm gonna go watch some of that right now. Sleeping over. Dude hears his dad coming and makes me hide in the closest and tells me not to make a sound. Whatever transpired outside that closet sounded normal enough, then the dad left. I've told this before, and I really don't know if the kid was abused or in what way, but I swear to God whatever that dad did other times was something really bad, and just that little situation still bothers me when I think about it. Spent the night for the first time at a friend's house with another friends. Both were great guys, but later in the night, after we smoked weed, we went out in his den to watch TV. I'm on the armchair, both of them on the love seat. They toss my blanket and grab one themselves. He turns on porn, and they both proceed to beat their meat under the same blanket, and, since it was my first time getting high, I just stared, flabbergasted at what was happening. So I told them I had to go do it in the bathroom for privacy, but I just sat on the toilet for like an hour and went back outside when I heard the TV change to something else. Not really creepy, but their just complete and total assumption I would partake with them felt really strange to me. The old bacon bait party. Just rigging the sheets to sail the sea of bromance. Went to spend the night at my cousin's place. His younger sister had 3 friends over too. So there was me, him, and 4 girls, all around 14 to 15. At about 1 in the morning we all sneak out to go sit in the RV they had parked in the backyard. Of course a truth or dare game starts up. Long story short, one of the girls wound up standing in the back lane bare naked at 2:30 am, fucking herself with the neck of an empty wine bottle and singing "If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands" at the top of her lungs. The kicker is, it was dead by one of the girls. The party was over, I was pretty drunk, one homeboy was on acid, the other was stone cold sober. I'm thoroughly against drunk driving. Lost too many friends to something so silly, so naturally I was gonna crash there. Anyways, we're all chilling there on the edge of sleep, and I heard the sound of a woman's voice behind me. My head snapped to the sliding glass door to the backyard, yet no one was there. As I turned my face forward I see that all 3 of us looked simultaneously. We all look at each other with wide eyes and investigate. Outside, nothing. In the morning I ask my friend whose house it was if anything had ever happened. Turns out before they owned the house a chick had blown her brains out in the backyard with a .38. Whilst he was telling this story his brother disappeared and came back with a shell casing they had found as kids playing in the dirt. Guess what caliber it was? A .38. He's an avid gun owner and may have just had a .38 shell souvenir in his room and brought it out to spook us, but still. I don't know if this is creepy or not, but when I was in 5th grade, I went to a slumber party that my sister's friend had. So I was like the one boy in a gaggle of 4th grade girls. Oh, the host girl's 4-year-old brother was there. Anyway, the night's going on. I'm like on a couch by myself reading or trying to go to sleep. This is 30 years ago. The girls were giggling and teasing each other, and they like dared one girl to come over to me and kiss me. I freaked out and spat in her face. They all went ooh op and I think she cried, and I've been regretting that, playfully, ever since. Embarrassment is the most powerful emotion, and the proof is here 30 years later and here you are, haunted by the spit kiss. In 5th grade, this was the 80s, I spent the night at my friend Janine's house. We found a VHS tape from her stepdad's collection, and watched an entire porn movie called Sexcapades. We were horrified and fascinated. The next morning, her mom asked if we stayed up watching a movie. Janine told her we'd watch The Last Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Bo Chicka Bobo. That's all for this video, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this.